So I've got this 2004 E46 325 CI, which I was about to submit for an MOT when I was made aware that this light here is the dynamic stability control light, or the traction control light, and it is actually a failure if it's illuminated along with this light. So I've plugged the car in, gone into the ABS unit, and this is the code that I have: 5E21 pressure sensor 2. Now there are two of these sensors, hence the sensor 2, and this is what they look like. So on the earlier models, they are separate to the ABS unit. On the later models, they're part of the ABS control unit and cannot be replaced. So I've already done the replacement, and disconnecting the harness brings up exactly the same code. If you need to differentiate between the two sensors, I mean, obviously in this case we know that sensor 2 is this one that's closer to the front of the car. All we need to do is disconnect the wiring connector. So right now I've got both of the sensors disconnected. So now we've got 5E20 pressure sensor 1 and 5E21 pressure sensor 2, which we already have. So we know when we disconnected the second connector that we've disconnected it for pressure sensor 1. These are the exact same codes that were present with the fault. So I've already swapped over the faulty sensor and replaced it with a used part. Now, the used part was £25, and the reason that I chose to get a used part is the brand new from BMW I got quoted 140 quid nearly, and I needed to be sure at least that the new sensor would fix the fault, and £25 and only collection 12 miles away was the best option to get it sorted today. Now, to get these sensors out, the sensor itself has a 27mm nut profile. Now, as you can imagine, a 27mm spanner is pretty large, and I managed to get it on the sensor but couldn't undo it enough because of this brake pipe here. So I had to briefly remove this brake pipe to loosen the sensor enough that it was hand tight, and then quickly put the pipe back in and remove and refit by hand the sensor. The same would apply to the pressure sensor 1, and they're on flexible hoses, so you can move them out of the way. Now, I did think that I would end up with air in the system and needing to bleed it. However, somehow, while the ferrule is being tightened, the air does actually remove itself from the system, and I haven't actually had to bleed it. So it's not all that bad. If you do have to remove those brake pipes, it may not actually introduce air into the system. So I'll just reconnect these sensors. So just imagine that I have refitted a new sensor. So that's the new used part that I fitted today. Erase the codes. No faults. And that's the warning lights gone off. So now I can present it for the MOT. So I hope this video's helped, and hopefully it'll mean that you don't need to take your car to the garage to be diagnosed, and you may even be able to replace the sensors yourself. Otherwise, thanks for watching.